Okay, we are getting to the national block, and here with us it is Andrey Paunov with the film 2x2. I will ask first, it is 2x2 because you're showing in the movie kind of a chain reaction, I would say. Is that correct?
Yeah, or multiplication.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the storyline for the others that haven't?
Well, the film is made by two stories. It's each story is 7 minutes, and in a way they repeat each other. So it's basically the same story repeating itself
Yes.
with different characters.
That's why I said, yeah, chain
But
reaction.
yeah, and the original idea in terms of dramaturgy was, can we make a story that has two parts, but in a way makes you imagine the third part?
Yeah.
So when you see the film, in a way, the third part, in a way, starts playing for you because
Yes,
this
it comes to
multiplication,
your-
like,
yeah.
okay, this thing is going to. So yeah, it was kind of an experiment into this direction, this field.
Do you think in real life as well, our actions maybe do the same chain reaction? Maybe we said something to someone that will also pass on, like in the movie that you showed.
Yes, of course. Yes, I totally believe that.
Have you
There is a-
experienced something like this?
I think that the world we live is an experience of this. We live in a world that it's constantly into a, this perpetuum mobile of violence that grows like Iceman.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Yes.
Why did you choose the location? We start with the police station,
Yes.
actually, and you kind of showed the reality a little bit about the police station.
Yes.
And, how did this idea come to you?
Well, I made this film. I was inspired because I saw a video on on YouTube, some of the first, videos that were shared with the first phones that had video abilities,
Yeah.
and it was two boys in some sort of a orphanage, I think, somewhere in Bulgaria, and they were doing this. They were slapping each other, and
So
there was a
you-
person who was
Yes,
kind of
continue. Yes.
who was kind of orchestrating the whole thing, and I was just so shocked,
Yeah.
because it was such a incredible image of violence, but it was not the violence was not into the actual act of violence, but the violence was into this multiplicity, and that you feel that every slap will bring another slap, and there's no way out of it. So I thought it is a very, very potent, dramatic idea, and then I thought, okay, so maybe what if we make a film from two parts, and
Yeah.
then what if the same story repeats exactly the same, but just they change places?
And intentionally, you wanted it to be 7 minutes and 7 minutes,
Yes,
or did it come by
yes.
accident? Oh, yes.
It was not by accident. It was a decision quite serious beforehand, because 7 minutes is longer than a scene. In a way, it's a sequence, but when you make it in one shot, it becomes, quite challenging. But it's challenging in a way that squeezes from you this dramatic potential.
How was the work with the kids, the teenagers?
Yes.
Do they have any acting experience? Was it easy? Tell us more about this.
They had some acting experience, some of them. One of the bigger boys had been in quite a few things. The other ones, not so much, especially the smaller kids. So it was very, it was complicated. It was very, I don't know, not the usual professional way you work with actors. It's
Yes,
more
it's
like
more
becoming
complicated,
friends
maybe, yeah.
and really gaining, trust. Because what we were doing was very intense, and it's very hard to keep kids so intense into a dramatic situation, especially when this film, it took very many takes in order to achieve these long takes. So keeping focus with 12, 13-year-old
Yes.
kids with skateboards, and if they're more than 40, it becomes really, really complicated.
How did you navigate them? Maybe give them some advice. Were they asking some help that they needed?
It was pretty much personal for each one of them, but I also let this relationship between the older boys and the younger boys play by itself. So when
It's more natural.
yes,
Yes, it
like
really
in a more natural
feels.
way. And when
It
they see
feels
that
like this.
the older guys are really focused and they really are not joking, so the kids, the smaller kids will really also become more focused, and you don't even have to push there. Just sometimes if you build the right environment, it will take care of itself.
That's true. Thank you very much. We will end the Q&A session here. If the audience don't have any questions that also would like you to ask, and if not, thank you
Thank
again.
you.